I have been thinking about doing this from a long time. 2007 onwards, I've been teaching and coaching pro bono, not for money, but pro bono coaching. I wanted to do this full time when I turned age 50. That was my original goal. When I was at Meta, after 15 months, there was a lot of restructuring in the team. My role was eliminated last year, January 2023. I decided, okay, this is my time. There must be a signal here. This is my time to take a couple of years break to really do this and experiment to see what works for me. So from
Yeah.
January 2023, I took a 2-year break. I call it as a personal MBA break, where
Hmm.
in the last 2 years, I wrote a book. I wrote this book this year, July, Beyond Your Limits, all
Yeah.
about goals. And I have got
Congratulations.
thank you, 4 different live courses online. I teach courses, 4 weeks or 7 weeks
Hmm.
on leadership, communication, goal setting, and communicating on slides in organizations. I also do one-to-one coaching. I've got digital courses. I built all of this in last 18 months. This would not have happened without my job being impacted at Meta. I'm really grateful that this happened in my life because everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Temporarily, you might think, what's happening next? But if you slow down and think, what's the opportunity here? How can I use this to my advantage? And my advantage was a 2-year break to really do something on my own, write a book, teach, coach, start my own company, and impact about 300 people in 11 countries in last 18 months. That would not have happened without this event.
Yeah. As you mentioned in your story, I remember reading in his book, Acres of Diamonds. One must look within themselves and what you have. Everything, as you stated, everything happens for a reason. Everything of a letting go from a job, all of those different things. And when you go in, most of us don't go in. Most of us react out of fear and trembling, if you will, and anxiety, and miss the the opportunity that was really presented to us from that time. And here you are, you took the opportunity, you went into your skill set that has been a part of your life forever, and you kind of put some things together because of your desire for it. And guys that are listening to the podcast, we're going to provide all this stuff so you can get to him, get to the course, the books. And you guys know how I feel about books. I always tell people, stop buying crazy presents and weird ties and stuff like that for Father's Day and holidays. Buy books. Buy books because they house wisdom. They house life-changing words and wisdom. And I always tell people there's a way to approach a book. Don't just pick a book up and throw the page. You're approaching the book to receive something. And when you approach a book like that, you will get it. And that's how you approach it. And so I want you guys that have been listening to us, get into his space, get those books, get the wisdom, get all that richness that he had and have in him from a youth that is able to change lives. And so much so that the corporations that he worked for recognized his ability and began to utilize him in those companies without even rewarding him. And so you guys have access to him, and I'm going to provide all the stuff to you for you to get him. So here you are, you develop this your program now. Um, Once you recognize the opportunity that you had when you were let go. Again, it's perspective. How you perceive something will dictate how you act in that thing. So give me an example, because I want those that are listening to us an example of
Uh-huh.
someone. And I've mentioned to you that as a servant, we get an opportunity to witness transition, or that light bulb moment, if you will, of one person moving from this perspective that they have been holding on for
Uh-huh.
years, maybe generation passed that down from mom and dad or whatever, that family been thinking and believing a certain way. And then, as you said, the quickest way, those questions that you were throwing at them, I tell people, a skilled individual is asking those questions to locate you, where you are. And so once they locate you, they will then be able to guide you from where you are to where you need to be. Talk to us about one of those situations where you were able to guide someone and the freedom that they received as a result of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I worked with one engineering manager in the Bay Area. He came to me for resolving confidence challenges. He was managing large teams, and sometimes he did not have the confidence to manage team. And this was going on for a long time. As we worked together, I kept bringing his awareness back to how he was describing things, his own language patterns, and how he would describe situations with his manager, his peers who were troubling him, or his team members who were not performing. He would come back and put all the blame on other people, how they are not changing, how they are not collaborating, how they are upsetting him. And each session, I would come back and say, let's come back to the sentence you made here and break it down word by word and how you feel when you say those words. This one awareness in the first 3, 4 sessions made a significant impact on his entire life. He realized his internal world is so stressed emotionally, and his words are so negative, so loaded with those emotions. When he goes to meetings, talks to people, he uses the same words. They are loaded with emotions. They are like bullets hitting people, those emotional words.
Yeah.
Just by that awareness, just by being aware that I am the one collecting all these garbage and putting them in my words, throwing at people, that made a significant shift in his relationships with people. Naturally, that also changed his relationships with his family members because
Yeah.
now he's aware. He's not randomly saying things out of emotion. It's not a bursting of emotion through words. He was now making mindful choices. What am I saying? What else I can say? How else I can communicate the same message with less loaded words with emotion? That's an example I
Yes.
really like talking about and sharing with people.
Yeah, it's a powerful example because that's right there because it, as you said, your ABCs. Once you start recognizing you and so forth, it will change that behavior. But most of the work is the A,
Yes.
and dealing with that aspect first, and then the behaviors will manifest and so forth. And that's what I tell people: once you become aware, that's where it is, man. You have to become aware because, and you hear that in everything, people talk about. I think it was GI Joe. I remember my son. When you become aware of something, it's like the beginning, or there was something with the battle, or whatever in GI Joe that has a similar
Mm-hmm.
thing that they talk about. And so it is the same. Becoming aware of how you speak, act, all of that stuff. But awareness is the key, and it's the beginning of all things. And once you become that observer, your life will change, and it changes quickly. But
Mm-hmm.
growth is always constant, and never to expect it to be McDonald's, have it your way. It never works that way. So you guys, we are going to provide everything for you guys to get to him. I really need you to get there because there's books and all these different things. And I ask him that question so that you, the listeners, can hear how and what his modus operandus is, his technique, his process by which he moves, and how he accomplishes what you need him to accomplish in your life to make those changes to give you outcome at work and family. That's what it's all. It's you, your family, and your work, but it starts with you. And once you understand and see the work that is necessary, the A, it will change your behavior. And once your behavior change, everything else is changed. Thank you so much, Pavel, for coming to share your wisdom, man, and your insights and all of the things. And I'm so honored to get a chance to talk to you as a young man that was imprinted as a leader for such a young man to continue his process here on this planet. And I thank you for coming by Threads of Enlightenment.
I am so glad. I enjoyed the conversation. I hope people get some value from our conversation, Ken. I really enjoyed it.
I believe they will because my thing is this: I believe nothing or anything on this planet is done without. I believe there is a need within the audience that I have, or the future audience, that there was a pressing of demand, and the demand manifested you, and that's why you're here. So I know the wisdom and the information that you have shared with others is a part of a demand that was made and caused you to manifest here. I believe everything is designed. And so I want to honor you for obedience to that demand. And we will do the best we can on our side to spread the word about you and what you do so that you can reach those that are in need. Thank you so much.
Thank you.